Hey everybody, my name is Mystic Nina. Welcome back to my channel. I just want to tap in today and tell y'all to remember to fix your crown. Okay? I just want to talk about fixing your crown. I want to talk about staying on point. I want to talk about staying 10 toes down. Okay? I want to talk about being true to yourself, being true to the essence of yourself. Because during this time, a lot of things might be happening and a lot of tower moments might be existing in your life. And a tower moment is basically like things are falling the fuck apart. Okay? Things are falling apart, things are falling down. You don't know why, you don't know if you're going to come in. It seems like everything is piling up at once. You don't have any answers, or it's hard for you to get any answers, it's hard for you to get any peace. You don't know what's going on, and you don't know the reason why. You just want the shit to stop. Okay? A lot of times when stuff like that happens and those events occur over and over and over in your life, you are clearing a karmic cycle. Okay? And your karmic cycle has everything to do with lessons. Okay? So as quick and as faster as you will learn the lesson, the quicker that karma will dissipate, right? Then when the karma dissipates, then you will reach your divine timing of things. Now, divine timing is just, you know how people say, well, God is always on time. Okay? Your divine timing happens in your life when things occur in your life because during your karmic cycles, it will be hard for you to get the things that is owed to you. It'll be hard for you to get the things that you deserve, right? Because during your karmic cycles, it's going to be a disturbance. Like, it's going to be chaos. It's going to be chaotic. It is going to be things that make you very uncomfortable. It's going to be times where you're going to cry, you're going to have a lot of hurt, and you're going to have a lot of pain, and you don't know why. Now, the reason why you can't have the things that's owed to you or that you deserve during that time is because the karmic cycles is about shedding. Like, you're going to have to shed pieces of you. You're going to have to shed things that you thought that you wanted. You're going to have to shed some ideas that you had. You're going to have to shed tears from the pain. And when you're in that setting, when you're in that moment, when you're in that arena of transformation, the things that you deserve will not be settled in those spaces. They just won't be settled. They have the ability to go out in the trash, like where all your other karmic cycles is going, because you're in the process of shedding. You don't have anything in place where you can actually nourish and cherish and love and be grateful for the things that you deserve in your life, right? So when it comes to your karmic cycles, like, learn the lesson, even this even if it's a hard lesson, because a lot of times, and when you're trying to clear that karma, that lesson is going to be hard. It's going to be a hard lesson. It's not going to be something that you can just, you know, like you can just bump your toe and you be like, oh yeah, I learned my lesson. I'm just not going to wear any sandals or anything. Like, no, 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 no. It's not going to be like that. It is not. Excuse me, y'all. If y'all hear some noise, I'm outside, okay? Well, it's not going to be like that. It is not going to be like that. It's not going to be that way once you're in a karmic cycle, and especially if that karmic cycle is tied to your family setting. What I mean, your family setting, especially if the things you have to learn in order for you to get to that next space in life, in order for you to get to your God-given abundance. A lot of times, if your lesson is tied to your family life, like the things you went through as a child, or the things you went through with your parents, the things you went through when you was growing up in school, the things that, kind of stay stagnant but is still a disturbance in your life, you will literally have to go through those same cycles, experience that same pain, experience that same trauma, experience those same memories in your karmic cycle as an adult, so you can learn the lesson and move on from what happened to you in the past. Now, I know some people might hear that and be like, girl, you are talking crazy. There is no, that doesn't make any sense. But I'm telling y'all, sometimes your karmic cycle is based on not, you growing up. I mean, not you encountering people as an adult. It's based on the things and the trauma and the experiences and the pain that you experienced as a child or as a young adolescent, right? As you growing up, as you in school, because those lessons will repeat itself and you will find yourself connected to people in a familiar state. Now, a lot of times you may feel that you're connected to this person in a familiar state because you think this is the one, right? This is my spouse. These are my friends. This is the place I'm supposed to be. It feels good in these spaces, but a lot of time those spaces feel good because they're familiar, and they feel familiar is because they are connected to your karma. Like, it's different people, same energy. Okay, it's different settings, same lessons that you have to learn. Okay, so that's why a lot of times when it comes to your karmic cycles and it comes to that karmic setting and when it comes to that karma that you have to clear, it's hard for a lot of people to let go because it's not like you're letting go of this particular person, you're letting go of this particular cycle, you let go of this particular relationship, you let go of this particular friendship. Your subconscious, even if you're not aware, your subconscious will relate the events that you're going through right now and relate them back to where you was when the karma cycle started. So let's just say you have some karmic friends or a karmic lover. You feel familiar with that energy, but that energy is the same energy that you receive from your parent. Or that energy is the same energy that you received growing up in school while you was traumatized or whatever, right? So you know physically, like, these are different people, like this is a different setting, but the things that you feel on the inside will feel exactly the same. So that's why a lot of times it's hard for people to get out of that karmic cycle. It's a lot of people have it, find it hard to get out that karmic cycle, and a lot of people find it difficult to let that go because, like I said, you're letting go. You've been hurt or whatever. You're letting go of that parent energy. You're letting go of that friend energy that you've been had for so long, but you know that you're not comfortable in this space. Okay, so when you are dealing with your karma and you're clearing your karma and you're learning your lesson, you still got to fix your ground. Okay? Because when you are clearing out your karma, when you're clearing out that cycle, when you are going through that cycle, it's going to be stages in that cycle where you're going to be like, you know what? I am tired as fuck. Fuck this shit. I am tired. I'm tired. I don't want to learn no more. Okay? Hold on, y'all. My little setup is falling. You be like, I'm tired. I don't want to learn no more. I'm tired of being God's toughest soldier. Okay? I'm tired. Like, this is it. Don't put me on the front line no more. I don't want to learn no lesson. Okay? I just let me be okay here. And a lot of times people will sit in that because it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to get out of that. It's hard to find yourself kind of purging all the emotions that you felt at certain times, all the emotions that you felt in the past, all the emotions that you felt as a kid or growing up, and then you find yourself feeling the same emotions as an adult, and then it's a crazy, it leaves you confused kind of sort of, because you be like, I'm an adult. I should have been over this. Like I'm an adult. Like, why is this still triggering me? I'm an adult. Why is this still an issue in my life? But that's because you have not cleared that cycle. And because a lot of people find it hard to clear those karmic cycles, they will stay in those relationships and hold on, y'all. Come on. Come on, Mither. My puppy. They will stay in those relationships or in those situations and make those karmic cycles home because they feel familiar. They've been living in this energy all their life. It just, when they became an adult, it just transferred into another setting. It transferred into another household. It transferred into another being, but it is the same energy makeup, right? It's the same frequency. So they will then put themselves in this box and tell themselves, well, hey, this is what the fuck it is. This is how I'm supposed to live my life. But there is a point when you do have your Tara moments and when you do break your karmic cycles, you will begin to live the life that God wants you to live. Okay? You will begin to live in abundance. You will begin to live in your greatest version of yourself. Okay? Because what people have to understand is, like I said before, God won't place nothing in your life that's owed to you that you won't be able to handle, because God knows that if God places your abundance, your manifestations, if God places your things that you wanted out of life in your hand as of right now, while you're going through these karmic cycles, they're not going to last long. And you have to understand too, God won't place nothing in your life that's belong to you until God recognizes and understands that you understand that the people in your life are deserving of what you have to offer. Okay? Because people become an energy magnet to you if you are in a certain space in life. If you're in a certain space in life, if you're in a certain area of life, people who are the most close to you, people who connected to you, will benefit from what you have. But if you have your if you have your being, your energy, and your frequency around people who don't deserve what you have will be delayed by the Most High. Okay? What you have will be delayed by the Most High. What you have will be delayed because God understands these people are deserving of what I'm trying to give you. Because we may go through certain cycles and go through relationships and go through things with people and even friendships for decades, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, right? But in our mind, we telling ourselves, oh no, those my people, we good. They got my back, I got their back. But what you have to understand is, even if they are presenting themselves in a certain fashion, the only person that really know their heart is the Most High. The only person that know their heart is God. So God done already scanned their heart and made a notification like, okay, when I'm ready to give you this, they can't be here. I scanned their heart. I know how they feel towards you. I know what they say about you. I won't be able to give you your abundance while they are in your area. I won't be able to give you your abundance while they are in your energy. I won't be able to give you your abundance when they are still connected to your frequency. And then you might be thinking to yourself, well, damn, it's like every time I try to do something, it's like I'm getting held up. Like, what's going on? Like, I'm meeting all my P's and Q's. I'm crossing the T's. I'm dotting the I's. What's going on? It's not necessarily what you're doing. It's who you're sharing your energy with, and who you're sharing your frequency with, will delay a lot of shit. It will delay a lot of shit. Okay? This from family, friends, spouses, lovers, boyfriends, girlfriends, co-workers. Like, you have to be clear and understand at all times who is surrounding you. That's why discernment is necessary, because I know from the things I had to learn, we tend to look at people on how we feel for people, how we feel for them, how you may emotionally are connected to them. You have to start looking at people and looking at situations on what the situation is in a totality. Take away what you feel about it. Take away how you want them to feel, okay? Take away on what you feel. Focus on what's real. Focus on what's real. Focus on what is important. Focus on what you are witnessing from them. And then that will give you a better stance on discernment. Okay? So when you are clearing your karmic ties and God put that abundance in front of you, you're going to look up and you going to wake up in the morning and you going to wake up during the night and you're going to look at everything that you have and you'll be like, this is crazy. Like, I made it. Like, I did it. Like, I can't believe everything I worked for and everything I wanted, and all those tears that I cried and all the times I was so angry and all those cycles I cleared up and I made things right. I have my abundance. I'm at where the Most High placed me to be to get what I deserve. It's gonna be like a sense of relief. It's gonna be like you living in a fantasy world. Like, you're not gonna be able to believe it, because you're gonna be like, dang. So me going through those tears, me going through that pain was really worth it. I stayed 10 toes down. I stayed dedicated to the situation. I stayed dedicated to my healing. Okay, that's why I need y'all to fix your crown. Don't let that shit get you down for too long. You gotta stay dedicated to your healing. You gotta stay dedicated to your abundance. You got to stay dedicated to the places you want to go. You got to stay dedicated to the places where you want to be. You got to stay dedicated to yourself, to your personal self. You have to stay dedicated to your body, to your mind, to your spirit. You have to stay dedicated to all those things, because all those things is what is going to connect you to the Most High. It's going to connect you to the highest sense of yourself. And I don't care what you believe in. I don't care who you are. Everybody has the ability to get to the highest sense of themselves. Okay? And this is emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Okay? And once you start getting on that road to the highest sense of yourself, because like I always tell people, and I probably said this many times in my videos. If you're new here, if you're not, I have said this many times. I don't care how low you are in your life. Like, I don't care what's going on. I don't care how sad you are right now. I don't care how you feel right now, how things are going so bad right now. You're just witnessing and experiencing yourself on a different spectrum. Like, you're just on the lowest end of the spectrum. That does not mean like your highest sense of yourself, the place where you're supposed to be, the place where you're going to get your abundance at. That doesn't mean that your highest sense of self is not there. It's there. You just have to plug in and get connected to the highest sense of yourself so you can know what that looks like. In another video, I don't know if I made a video on this or not, but next time I come back here, I will talk about tapping into what your highest sense of self looks like while you're in a lower state of yourself. Because a lot of people, you get into that state, like you get into that struggle state, you get into that scarcity state, you get that to that survival state, And then literally a lot of people believe, well, this is my life. You can make it your life. It's your experience. It is. It's your personal life experience. But that doesn't mean that that is your personal, that has to be your life setting. Like you can change the setting. Like you can change the dial. Like you listen to the radio. Like you can change the dial. You can change the setting. But that's all up to you, right? So when you are in your lowest sense of self and you're going through your karmic cycles, understand that abundance, that love, that peace, the things that you wish for and wanted, they don't have spaces in that area. They don't have spaces in that arena. Those things that you desire, that's going to make you greater, that's going to bring more love into your life, that's going to heal your heart, that's going to give you more understanding, give you more compassion, give you more grace. That's going to get you closer to your abundance, to your dreams, to your personal happiness. Those things can flourish in a chaotic, karmatic cycle. They just can't. They can't flourish there. They can't grow there. They don't have a space there because when you're in a karmic energy frequency, like I said, it's chaotic. And it's chaotic because you are, whether you know it or not, it's chaotic when you are clearing your karma because whether you know it or not, your higher self and your lowest sense of self is battling each other. Okay? This is how I can explain. Your highest sense of self and your lowest sense of self is battling each other. So while your highest sense of self and your lowest sense of self is battling each other, you're going to be in spaces, and those spaces is going to feel uncomfortable, right? And while those spaces feel uncomfortable, you're going to react to the battle that you have within yourself in these spaces, okay? And until you can actually let go of that lowest sense of yourself and just be dedicated to the highest sense of yourself, it's always going to be like this tug of war there. Like it's always going to be a tug of war there. It's always going to be a moment of confusion. It's always going to be chaotic because just say, for example, you in these karmic cycles, right? You in these karmic cycles, unbeknownst to you, you're in your lowest sense of self, but your lowest sense of self and these karmic cycles are familiar. Because like I said in prior, right? These karmic cycles are familiar to you because this is the same energy, it's the same frequency, even though it's a different setting, right? Okay, so it's the same energy, it's the same frequency, it's a different setting, but you're in this energy, you're in this frequency. It feels good here. You feel safe here. You feel familiar here, right? This is in your lower sense of self when you're dealing with a karmatic event or a karmatic relationship. So what happens then is somewhere in between you interacting in this karmatic cycle, your highest self, like something wakes up your highest sense of self, just put it like that. Something wakes up the highest sense of yourself, right? So you've been in these spaces, your lowest sense of self is cool, you chilling, you relaxing, right? But your highest sense of self is dormant somewhere, right? It's asleep. It ain't paying attention. Because your lowest sense of self is controlling your avatar. Okay? Your lowest sense of self is controlling your world, is controlling your life, right? So what happens when your highest sense of self wakes up? It could be an event, it could be a phrase, and that's weird. Hold on, y'all, because I'm getting some downloads. So give me a minute. It it it, it's just the little things that can wake up the highest sense of yourself without you even knowing that your highest sense of self is being woken up. Right? You could be doing these things all this time, but you hear a particular name or a particular phrase or a particular event or something that reverts you back to a space and time where you know you was functioning on the highest sense of yourself. It's going to be something that your highest sense of self remembers in this karmatic space, right? So once your highest sense of self remembers what's going on in this karmatic space, your highest sense of self all of a sudden going to wake up and say, wait a minute, hold on, what's going on here? And then your lowest sense of self is going to look at your highest sense of self like, oh, we've been here. What are you talking about? We've been here for 5 years. You just now recognize it? We've been here for 20 years. Well, what's wrong with you? What? And then your highest sense of self say, you been where? How long you been here? And what's going on? What's happening? Oh no, something ain't right. No, this ain't right. This ain't good. No, I'm gonna have to stop this shit. I'm gonna have to stop this ride. You been riding this motherfucker too long. I've been letting you guide this ride for a little bit too long. It's time for me to wake my ass up and control this motherfucking boat. Okay? So, while your higher self is telling that to your lower self is looking at your higher self like, what you talking about? So then your higher self becomes the representation of your lowest sense of self, right? Because now your higher sense of self understands your lowest sense of self is lost. Obviously, we've been here for this long doing what? Let me go and see what the fuck is going on. So then your higher sense of self go and see what's going on, and then it starts talking to or starts presenting itself and starts looking at the activities that's going on in these events and in these relationships and in these areas, and then your higher sense of self say, hell no, fuck that, we're not doing that. And then your lowest sense of self is tugging at you. Like, wait a minute, don't say nothing. We've been doing this for years. You should be okay. No, no, fuck that, no. I'm taking control over this shit. So then the person that you are confronting in this karmatic relationship and this karmatic energy is looking at you because they don't understand this highest sense of yourself. They haven't met the highest sense of yourself. They only met the lowest sense of yourself, and the lowest sense of yourself was driving your avatar, was driving the boat, right? They had the motherfucking steering wheel. Drive you in motherfucking traffic with a blindfold on, right? So, so once your highest sense of self starts interacting with the people that's in this karmic cycle, the people that's in this karmic cycle with you, they confused too. The fuck is going on? Well, what you talking about? Well, what's happening? Well, I don't. You confusing me. What the fuck is going on? I thought we was good though. But then your higher sense of self has been woken up. That is the tower moment. That's when the chaos starts happening because your higher sense of self got to check it on in because your higher sense of self got to get it back on track. It has to get your frequency on track. It has to get your energy on track. It has to get whatever you've been participating in that's not good for you. Has to eliminate that, right? So let's just say you in the kitchen and you have this restaurant, right? So everything is going good. You think everything is going good. Now you the owner. You done walked away, right? You let somebody else in charge. You thinking, okay, they got it. Everything is everything, and they know where stuff is, and the cook is right there, and the head chef and the lead cook and all sort of shit, they got it down pat, right? So then you leave, and then when you come back, you looking at them like, hey, everything okay? And they like, yeah, everything's fine. But when you walk your ass in that kitchen, you know everything ain't motherfucking fine. What the fuck is going on? What is y'all doing? What y'all been doing in here? Okay? So then you go out to where the people's being served at, and this is issues, it's problems. You go back to the people that's in the kitchen, say, y'all don't see these problems out here? Y'all think this shit is okay? Wait a minute, hold on. Stop. Stop. Let me tell y'all what y'all need to do. Let me tell y'all where you went wrong. We need to get this back in order. So while you getting this back in order, because you trying to clear up this mess, that kitchen gonna be looking like this. People gonna be moving here, moving there. People gonna be outside in the lobby, trying to help the customers. They're gonna be remaking the food. They're gonna put the wrong ingredients. They're gonna put this in that place. It's gonna be chaotic because they're trying to put shit in place because it was an emergency. It was an emergency. It was a 911 call, okay? It was a fucking disaster. They gotta make shit move. And why they making shit moving? If you don't know what the fuck is going on, it's gonna look like they got their heads cut off, but they actually are in a chaotic energy because this chaotic energy, it can't be structured because there's so much stuff's going on. They have to get it right. They don't have time for it to look pleasant. They don't have time for it to look pretty and presentable. Their main job is to make sure the customers are satisfied and for the food to taste right. And if they got to walk around looking crazy, if two people got to do one thing, and that's what the fuck is going to happen. They have to get it done, right? So when you are clearing your karma, that's what that shit look like. And then afterwards, when you done all the shit and there might be stuff on the floor and stuff on the sink and he's like, "Whoo, we made it. The customer's happy. The food is good. We in the space. Only thing we gotta do is clean up our ties, clean up what we have left over, and we good to go." Literally, that's how your karmic cycles work. That's how they work. And that's how they get cleared. And when they're in the process of getting cleared, that's what it look like. It's not planned. It's not nothing that you can, okay, well, I'm in a karmic cycle, so I'm gonna start off with A, okay? I have a list. I have a list, and my list is from A to L, okay? And I'm gonna start off at A. And if it doesn't work at A, I'm gonna go to B. And then if it just, no, because you might get that list. Your list might be from A to L, but you trying to survive. You trying to get out that, you trying to get out that fucking cycle. Sometimes A ain't gonna be your best option. You need to go to H because H is where you know you can get some shit done. Like somebody's going to hear you. You don't have time for A. We too far in the street for A. We too far in this shit for A. I need to go down a little bit, okay? So you can hear what the fuck I'm trying to say to you because I'm not playing. Not playing with you right now. Okay? This is my life. I don't have time to go in order right now. I'm just trying to make sure this shit is straight. Okay? So, fix your crown, y'all. You going through that chaotic cycle, fix your crown. You don't know what's going on right now. Fix your ground. Don't let, even if it's slanted on your head, don't let that shit fall. Don't let it fall. Don't let it fall. You got to keep on going. You have to keep on moving. You got to keep on persevering, okay? Because what you have to understand, I was talking to my mom about this the other day, and everybody was talking about, we was watching something. I don't know what we was watching, but the person had said that the devil's always on their back. And I'm like, Mama, the devil don't be on you like that. When it comes to the devil or demonic energy, or, evil entities and stuff like that, those entities don't get on your back just like that. There has to be a magnetic frequency that matches those energies to you, right? So you always have to be the person you're either in lack, you're either in a suppressed state of yourself, which means you not moving your avatar, your body, your human physical flesh body as the way that you should. So you're in a suppressed state. So lower emotions are driving your life source. depression, anger, disappointment, sadness, fear, ungratefulness, pain, like anything that is get registered in the lowest version or the lowest frequency on the lowest frequency scale, those or greed or you extra greedy or something like that, you power driven, ego driven, those energies and those frequencies are connected to the quote unquote evil energies, to the quote unquote demonic energies. So if you are a vessel, if you are a vessel of lower frequencies and those entities come in contact with you, it's just going to latch on to you. It's the same thing. So that's why you have to be aware of, because like I said, we're human. I'll be a fool to sit here and tell you that unless you a monk, okay? Unless you a monk, unless you a superfied guru, unless you done learned patience and you've been doing this for 50 years, I can't sit here and tell you that it ain't gonna be a time that you get pissed the fuck off. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you that ain't gonna be a time that you get disappointed. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that ain't gonna be a time where you just so angry. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that. But what I do know is that the longer that you sit in those energies, the longer that you sit in those frequencies, the more susceptible that demonic entity has to your vessel. Okay? So fix your crown. Keep your crown. Keep your crown on your head, okay? Don't get stuck on what people view you. Don't get stuck on your personal experiences right now. Don't get stuck on that. Don't get stuck on, how people treat you. Don't get stuck on the things that you experience, because some people have to understand, some people was brought here on a mission. Like some people came here on a mission, and your mission was to clear shit out so you can be the one that's next in line that heal your bloodline. You can be the one that's next in line to clear these cycles. You can be the one that's next in line to make sure that your kids don't get stuck in the same cycles you did, or your parents or your great grandparents did. You might be the one. So if you are the one, you're gonna enter this world with karma on you. You got to be the one to break it. You got to be the one to break that line. You have to be the one to break that cycle. And because unbeknownst to you, you have to break that cycle because, or you have to break that line because certain energies are going to present themselves. And usually the people who are powerful like that, you're going to experience so much karma. You're going to experience so much turmoil. And I'm about to tell you why. About to tell you why. When you have been chosen to break generational curses, when you have been chosen to break the spell, that entity and that energy is going to sort you out either way, because that energy and entity knows who's who. Okay? Let's be clear about that. I be saying that too. Y'all be acting like, oh, I'm just this, I'm just, okay. When they say the Most High is powerful, those other entities and energies, they got shit up their sleeve too. They know who's who. So if they know who's who, the first thing they're gonna do, they're gonna come to you to try to make you comfortable. You wanna know why? Because they want you on their team. Because you can't break the curse. You can't stop it. So if God put you in a position to break the curses of your bloodline, If God put you in this position to break the curses, to break generational curses, if God put you in this position, that other opposition energy understands that, and that other op, um, that other opposition understands that if you gonna break it, that means that I'm not gonna have any safe space in your family line. I've been running in your family line for decades, for centuries. You can't stop me. I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try my best to put you on my team. I'm gonna try my best to make sure that you understand that I'm not that bad. You can hang out with me. You can hang out with me. We good, ain't we? Like you can come over here. That energy and that entity knows who's who. So if you the person, like I said, you the person that's gonna break these generational curses, and you the person that's gonna make things straight for your kids and your kids' kids and your kids' grandkids and all this extra shit. You sitting here, I don't know why things is happening to me. I don't know why this keep on happening. I can't catch a break. Well, I guess I'ma sit in it. You gonna sit in it. Your kids gonna sit in it. Your kids gonna sit in it. And the longer, and let's just say you sit in it. Okay? So you sit in it. Your child might be born the next one that has to break this line, that has to break this code, that has to break this energy. So now, not only your child has to break the karmatic energy and the line of the things that happened in the past, they got to try to break the line that you was supposed to break. They got to try to break that line. Like they say, the strongest, what they say, the strongest survive, the survival of the fittest. When it comes to spiritual battle and on this physical realm, you have to be strong too. You have to know where your strengths are. You have to know why not to give up, because it is a battle, it's a fight. When they talking about, oh, it's a spiritual warfare, that's the warfare. Okay? So I need y'all to fix your crown. Make sure your crown is straight at all times. No matter if it's crooked. No matter if it's crooked, don't let the motherfucker fall off your head. Okay? You are strong. You are wise. You are loved. Okay? You are loved. You are strong. You are wise. You are loved. You are a version of God itself. We were all made in God's image. You are a version of God yourself. How do you want your God to be represented out here in the public? Because when you meet people, that's why I always say, you don't necessarily have to know the Bible or necessarily be in a certain religion, but when you walk out and interact with people every day on the street, where you work, on the corner, if you're going out having fun, I don't care if you're going out having drinks, wherever you're going, you are a representation, not only yourself, but you are the representation of the Creator. People are experiencing you. How do you want people to experience your God? How do you want people to experience the creation that the Most High created you to be? And how do you want people to experience that? And once people can actually sit back and say, I never thought about that. That will make you think about a lot of shit that you do to people, a lot of shit that you say to people, because you know you are trying to be in representation of God's creation. Because that's what you are. That's who you are. Stand in your power, stand in your love, stand in your grace, okay? Stand in your wisdom, all right? Don't let the tough times break you down. Don't let the tough times make you put yourself in a box. Okay? Don't let the tough times make you ball over in a ball because you're afraid to face the world. No, no, no. Know who you are. Know your power. Know your light. Know the light that was in your heart Know the light that was in your love. Know the power that your love can bring. Okay? And don't let your crown fall. Fix your crown. Okay? So y'all have a good one. And I will talk to y'all later. All right. Bye.